Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm here to read to you an extract from George R.R. Martin's second book in his A Song of Ice and Fire series, A Clash of Kings. Set in the feudal land of Westeros, a kingdom sent into chaos at the death of the king. His death has left a power vacuum that the other great houses of Westeros strive to fill, and in this extract we find Tyrion Lannister, a dwarf member of one of the most powerful families in Westeros, as he comes to claim his position as acting Hand of the King, the second most powerful position in the kingdom, to Robert's son, the notoriously cruel Prince Joffrey. In the chilly white raiment of the Kingsguard, Sir Mandon Moore looked like a corpse in a shroud. Her Grace left orders. The council in session is not to be disturbed. I would only be a small disturbance, sir. Tyrion slid the parchment from his sleeve. I bear a letter from my father, Lord Tywin Lannister, the Hand of the King. There is his seal. Her Grace does not wish to be disturbed, Sir Mandon repeated slowly, as if Tyrion was a dullard who had not heard him the first time. Jaime had once told him that Moore was the most dangerous of the Kingsguard, excepting himself always, because his face gave no hint as to what he might do next. Tyrion would have welcomed a hint. Bronn and Timett could likely kill the knight if it came to swords, but it would scarcely bode well if he began by slaying one of Joffrey's protectors. Yet, if he let this man turn aside, where was his authority? He made himself smile. Sir Mandon, you've not met my companions. This is Timett, son of Timett, a Red Hand of the Burnt Men, and this is Bronn. Perchance you recall Sir Vardis Egan, who was captain of Lord Arryn's household guard? I know the man. Sir Mandon's eyes were pale grey, oddly flat and lifeless. Knew the man, Bronn said, with a thin smile. Sir Mandon did not deign to show that he had heard that. Be that as it may, Tyrion said lightly, I truly must see my sister and present my letter, sir. If you'd be so kind as to open the door for us? The White Knight did not respond. Tyrion was almost at the point of trying to force his way past when Sir Mandon abruptly stood aside. You may enter, they may not. A small victory, he thought, but sweet. He had passed his first test. Tyrion Lannister shouldered through the door, feeling almost tall, and 5 members of the King's small council broke off their discussion suddenly. You, his sister said in a tone that was equal parts disbelief and distaste. I can see where Joffrey learned his courtesies. Tyrion paused to admire a pair of Valyrian sphinxes that guarded the doorway, affecting an air of casual confidence. Cersei could smell fear, weakness, the way a dog smells fear. What are you doing here? His sister's lovely green eyes studied him without the least hint of affection. Delivering a letter from our Lord Father. He sauntered over to the table and placed the tightly rolled parchment between them. The eunuch Varys took the letter, turned it in his delicate, powdered hands. How kind of Lord Tywin, and his sealing wax is such a lovely shade of gold. Varys gave the seal a close inspection. It gives every appearance of being genuine. Of course it's genuine, Cersei snatched it out of his hands. She broke the wax and unrolled the parchment. Tyrion watched her read. Her sister had taken the king's seat for herself. He gathered Joffrey did not often trouble to attend the council meetings, no more than Robert had. So Tyrion climbed up into the Hand's chair. It seemed only appropriate. This is absurd, the Queen said at last. My Lord Father has sent my brother to sit in his place at this council. He bids us accept Tyrion as Hand of the King until he, at such a time as he himself can join us. Grand Maester Pycelle stroked his flowing white beard and nodded ponderously. It would seem that a welcome is in order. Indeed, jowly, balding Janos Slynt looked rather like a frog, a rather smug frog who had got rather above himself. We have sore need of you, my lord. Rebellion everywhere, this grim omen in the sky, rioting in the streets, and whose fault is that, Lord Janos? Cersei lashed out. Your gold cloaks are charged with keeping the order. As to you, Tyrion, you could better serve us on the field of battle. He laughed. No, I'm quite done with the field of battle, thank you. I sit a chair better than I sit a horse, and I'd sooner hold a wine goblet than a battle axe. All that thunder of drums, sunlight flashing on armour, magnificent destriers snorting and prancing. Well, the drums gave me a headache, the sunlight flashing on my armour cooked me like a harvest day goose, and the magnificent destriers poo everywhere. Not that I'm complaining. Compared to the hospitality I enjoyed in the Vale of Erin, drums, horse-dung and flybites are my favourite things. Littlefinger laughed. Well said, Lannister. A man after my own heart. Tyrion smiled at him, remembering a certain dagger with a dragon bone hilt and a Valyrian steel blade. We must have a talk about that, and soon. He wondered if Lord Peter would find that subject as amusing as well. Please, he told them, do let me be of service in whatever small way I can.